Well, a very good morning, folks, and welcome to race number one of the winter series for the Premier League. All those Star Wars fans, 4th of May, May the 4th be with you. Today we are doing the Volcano Flat Reverse. It's a 12.3 kilometer lap. We're doing two of those, so it'll make it 24.6 Ks with a 100-meter elevation today. So it's going to be a relatively fast race for the first one now in the winter series. So these are the races coming up in the winter series. Obviously, we started those new categories this month, A, B, C, D for men, obviously based on watts per kilo. And then the women, we're giving them their own batch, that's batch number E, so that they can have a fair race without the men interfering there. All riders will qualify for power-ups today, the ones you're looking for today. And it will probably be more readily available as your Aero Boost, your truck draft boost van. That's the one that you're also looking for. And obviously, the Anvil and stuff, those are the ones you don't want today. Even the Feather Lightweight, you don't want to qualify for that. Relatively fast route today. So the ones you are looking for are the Aero Boost and Truck Draft. That's going to help you quite a bit. And the bonuses. Nobody wants bonuses when you're racing. You want as much help as you can get. Today, first the race, 4th of May, Volcano Flat Reverse. Next week, we are doing the Greater London Loop Reverse. Tuesday, 18th of May, we're going to be going into the hilly route, and then the 26th of May is the Douche one in France. We've got just 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go before we get underway with the first race, the A batch of the men. Should you want to be involved with us, partner with the PLSA show to show your support and incredible community. So contact us on info@premierleaguesa.co.za or DM us on Instagram, and we'll get back to you right away. Another awesome competition happening this month in the winter series. That's the Spot competition. You've got to like Spot Africa Facebook and Instagram page, like Premier League SA and our Facebook page as well, and comment on either social media pages with the answer of the below question. What asset would you use Spot Trace to track? So make sure that you do get into that as well. Let's go to the start line now, and we'll see the men are lined up. Just a minute and 20 seconds to go for the A batch. It's one of our smallest fields there. Obviously, a lot of guys opting. It looks like B and C batch are our biggest fields there today. So a minute and 10 seconds to go. And then it's the ladies going off second. They'll go off at 5:31. Big thank you to our title sponsor, Galileo Risk and Infinity Insurance. Been with us from the start for over a year now. I know it's an old cliche, but without guys like sponsors like that, makes putting on these events very difficult. Good to see Greg Mbuli racing for Bajan. He's back on the start line. Whole new concept happening now. We've got a 3-month series happening in May, June, and July. That's the winter series. That's the way it's going to work. And all riders that do all of the events throughout the 3 months will qualify for those Premier League socks. So make sure that you do tap in every single month or every single Tuesday with us. 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1, and the men are underway. First race off in the winter series. This is going to be where the real racing is happening today. The A batch for men. Great to see so many international riders joining us here on the Premier League South Africa. Daniel Stephen now we're following. Nearly 200 riders registering to race today. As we said, make a date with us every Tuesday morning. Come and race on the Premier League. It's fun, it's fast, and it's free. So, men underway now, 45 seconds in. The ladies won't be too much longer, and the ladies will get underway. Let's see if we can find some of them on the start line and pick up their start. But these men are already underway. This is the A batch for men. There we have the ladies just gone now. They've just started their race as well. This is the E-Batch for ladies. And Sonia there, Belden. Good to see Suzanne Rogers in the mix as well. Lots of international. Bron Lewis in there, Sunel Schutten in there, Letitia Lowe also joining us, Catherine Albertine, Natalie Agostino, good to see her back as well. From Namibia, we've got Brenda Lynn, Michelle Daglish, Cass Beck also in the mix, good to see Cassidy back as well. Back in racing. Talita Buerta joining us as well this month. Angelique Miller. So those ladies already in full swing. Let's go see if we can find some of our guys in the B batch. They would be starting shortly now as well. They would have just got underway. Great to see 20 ladies on the start line this morning. There we go. This is looks like I think this is the D batch guys. C batch or B batch for men. Just trying to work it out. So it's C batch. So C batch just got underway now as well. The B batch already gone. So this is C batch for men. 42 in this category. And following Tion Rousseau at the moment. And those guys that's also been on the triathlon scene for a long time. Good to see Jacques Leroux back, Hilton Guy in the mix here as well. Benji Porter racing in this one. Huge amount of international riders. Get Gregory second there, Rowan Hammond also in this mix. Just so many riders at the moment, which is so cool to see. See if we can pick up some of those guys in the B batch that we seem to miss. But the men are already underway. A, B, and C batch, and the ladies in the mix already fighting it out. We got D batch going now. Some of the riders opting for mountain bikes. 33 in this batch. Obviously, with the racing happening now for the winter series, it is free and it's open. It's a public event, so it's open it up to everybody around the world, and it's great to see so many riders from all over the world there. It's Luca from Quad. He usually rides for the Quad de Jean team. He's lying in 37th, so a bit of a slow start for Luca, but and he hasn't raced for a while. Let me tell you one thing: you've got to really once you come back to the racing, it's like a big shock to the system, and you've got to get back in the mix as well. Make sure that you're up to scratch because when these guys go, they go right from the start line. Let's see if we can pick up some more riders in the mix. Over 2,567 riders racing at the moment. Or online, should I say. Good to see Richard Osback as well. He's racing. Here we go. We found the B batch. Quite a big batch still together. 40 riders in this mix. Huge bunch at the moment. You can see they're just all over the place. Guys are jockeying for position still. Some 40 riders in this mix. In B batch. So one of the big batches racing. See if we can find the girls. See how they're doing. With Cassidy Beck at the moment. Catherine Albertine also with her. Leading the pack. And Sonia van Velden, already done 4.9 kilometers. She's got Angelique Miller with her. Suzanne Rogers, Maud Elaine Nadir. Maud Elaine LaRouche has Hildegard Cronier. She's about 4 seconds back. You can see her just chasing there. So these girls will know that once they're going through here, pushing out 225 to 30 watts at the moment. They'll know that as they make their way up this little climb, they would have come back here again just now. It is a double lapper today, 12.3 kilometer laps. They're doing 2 of them today. As you can see them riding away from the volcano. We're going to see if we can find some of those guys in A batch. Sift through 2,590 riders to find our guys there. Really great to see so many guys logging on this morning and racing. I found Greg and Brulia. He's in that A batch. Let's see if we can find them. This is going to certainly be a fast race for the A batch guys. They've already done 7Ks. Good to see some new names to the Premier League. Guys, we've got a break at the moment. Peter Avenant. He's trying to go away. He's definitely responsible. Bring 3 seconds back. David Humphries in the mix as well. Good to see him back racing for that USC Avengers team. Greg and Brulia there as well. All trying. You see the group trying to come back now. They're not going to let him get away just too soon because if this gap gets too big now, it's a big fight later on. Here comes the group. They will have none of that today. Ten low now as they make their way through towards the docks. A lot of guys sporting that. See that orange jersey on the left-hand side? That's the one of the guys that did that tour of Watopia. If you completed all of the stages, you got that jersey. But just by starting, you unlock the one that's got a lot more white in it. So good to see a lot of riders riding around showing off their jerseys already. See in the background that the plane in the water. think that's a bit of a crib off the Spruce Goose. Howard Hughes' plane. I think it flew once in real life. Built it out of wood. See if we can find some of the girls. See how they're doing. These guys flying already 8.6. They nearly completed one lap already, and we're just 12 minutes in. So it's going to be a very fast race today. Brenda Linnell from Namibia. She's lying in 14th place at the moment. I think that group's gone, the one with Ansonia and stuff, that she's gone up the road. Angelique Miller, Ansonia, Suzanne. Let's see if we can find them. They make their way up the road. Just 4 of them in the break at the moment, and you can see there is a gap. So 3 seconds there's 3 seconds, and then 20 back. Talita Boyd at 21 seconds back. There's obviously a bit of a chasing group happening there as well. Good to see so many girls and guys using those Tron bikes. In order to qualify for that Tron bike, you've had to climb in excess of 50,000 meters vertical. So basically, once you climb Mount Everest, you just keep going. And going. And going. Once again, a huge thank you to our sponsors, Galileo Infinity Insurance. Obviously, one of our partners, Spot, coming on, giving that prize. See if we can show you that prize once again. So, like the Spot Africa Facebook and Instagram page, like Premier League SA Facebook and Instagram page, and then comment on either of the platform on the social media platforms. What asset would you use Spot Trace to track? So, a brilliant unit. I'm not going to tell you too much because I'm going to give you the answer, but it's a brilliant unit you can put on your bike, on your helmet, ride in your back pocket, make sure that you can track your loved ones all the time, wherever they are. Great for emergencies. Back with the D-Batch riders. Craig right up here, Craig Tradham. He rides for a team, he calls himself GRIT. It stands for Grandfathers Riding Indoor Trainers. Also one of those riders that has been with us for a long time. He's with Mike now, Lind from Canada Racing. So Craig Tradham, the only South African up in the front at the moment. Serious international cast here today. Some of the rules racing on the Premier League SA, all riders must obviously have a smart trainer. They've got to be registered on Zwift Power. It's basically like a governing body to make sure that the guys are not pushing out too many watts. It's a sort of governing body that, or platform, should I say, we can go in and have a look at see exactly if there's any strange things happening. And then they must have a heart rate monitor as well, because obviously guys have been caught out doing some strange things. The world is full of these guys, always trying to cut corners, taking a shortcut. And Benji Porter here, he's from Icarus. I think he's riding in C-Batch. Yeah, C-Batch still quite a big batch at the moment. 33 riders in the mix there that joined up for the C-Batch today that started. or 42. There we go. Benji lying 12th at the moment. You can see his position changing all the time. Just shows you how much jockeying for positions happening inside those bunches all the time. Brilliant platform here. The Zwift platform is evolving all the time. Okay, so obviously with lockdown happening last year, a whole lot of people flocked to these virtual platforms to stay fit, to stay sane. And it's also a great tool for using as coaches, because obviously everything is a controlled environment. You can test your athletes, see how they're doing in a controlled environment, and every week the conditions will be exactly the same. There's nothing that affects the conditions. There's obviously no wind, no rain, that sort of thing. Obviously, I mean, it does get dark and that sort of thing on the platform, but not in the real world scenario. I did see our young Fabian from Fabian's Bike Transport. He did acknowledge that he was going to be racing this morning, but I don't see him on here, so we'll have to have a chat with him, Fabian. Obviously, the duvet was a lot warmer than getting out in this little Sufferfest this morning. I found that Kunal Pretorius, he's in the B batch. There we go, B batch still quite a big batch at the moment, as these guys are making their way back to downtown Watopia for that completing the first lap. So one down nearly for these guys and one to go. See the guys like Rick Diesel, Richard Oz also back. Greg and Boulia, we did chat about him earlier. David Humphries, just going to have a look where the A batch is at the moment. See how they're doing. They've really gone through. David Humphries now in the lead at the moment, so starting the second lap quite fast. Nice little warm up on lap number one, and he said, okay, guys, let's see who's got what. David Humphries is a very strong rider. In fact, he won, I think it was February or March this year, he won the GC. It's really great about the platform as well. When setting up races on the Zwift platform, you can set it that the other groups, so A batch will not be able to see B batch, we won't be able to see C batch, etc. So there's no interfering from other batches. The women can have their own race. The A batch guys obviously race their race. They don't catch the slower guys, that sort of thing. D batch guys don't get in the way of the sprints and stuff for the A batch guys. Back to the lava fields. In South Africa, SA Marathon Champs happened this last weekend, mountain biking in Paarl. So lots of dropping. And like, as you can see, that just have a look at it. David Humphries at one section, he's lying first, then he's down to 12th, then 13th, then he's at the back of the bunch, he's in the front. So these guys, you guys are, you can see the comments coming through on the screen there. Peter Avenat, he's saying he needed breakfast. He says, you guys are hammering it so early on in the morning. So it just knows maybe he's in a very comfortable position that he can still pick up his phone and play on his Zwift companion app and still send out banter on his app. So while riding, he's still got to type up a message. You drop back to, I think it's C batch now with Nigel. Oh, there we go. Nigel Lowe, B batch. Flying in 15th place at the moment. These guys coming into the tunnel. So they've also gone through that downtown Watopia area. They're already on their second lap as well as B batch. the mix there. 40 riders in this batch. Nigel, one of the guys, coming to us and saying, can we split the categories? That's why we decided to do it as well. Saying, let's make it fair. Obviously, should we say, mature gentlemen, we can't race against the youngsters anymore. Back in the day, yes, we could. So Nigel now on the attack in first place. He's deciding to go. Let's put a bit of a gap between himself and the rest of the guys there. So this is obviously the place to attack, because we saw the same sort of in the same sort of place. David Humphries decided to try and go. And Nigel now putting some hurt in there. Back to the ladies. Maudie Lane LaRue from Cycle Nation. Looks like just three of them. It looks like they've dropped Miller and Rogers. Let's have a look now. We can just see if we can find them there. The gap has gone. So Maud is gone. She's with Hiroro and Sonia. Pushing out some big watches girls. They're racing really, really hard. See Gary Young also logged in this morning to see if he's with us. Gary Young, I think he opted for the. See what batch he's in. No, he's not riding with us. He's in a different batch completely. He's trying to find Craig Stradom. Here we are. Craig still in B batch, lying in second place at the moment. 55 years old. As you can see, these guys are much happy. We're going to talk about those socks there. Those socks and those shoes, Craig. Sure. Looks like you've got wearing grasshopper socks and church socks and grasshopper shoes. Also been on Zwift for a long time. I think he's hit level 50 sort of a while ago. And can't remember when last he could upgrade. One of those guys. Got sweat drops at in South Africa we say skrik for niks. Z-Batcher with Gregory in 24th place at the moment. See if we can see who's in the front of them. That's led by Tian Rousseau and Jacques Leroux, I think it is. It's out in the front. As the guys putting the pressure down. Some really great racing this morning. 15.2 Ks in for Z-Batch at the moment. Quite hot here in the Lava Fields. These guys will be feeling the heat. You know what they say, if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. Reggie Porter in the mix here. I'd like to see where Rowan Hammond is. Hilton Guy in the mix. Trying to see if I can pick up Rowan's name. I know he signed up for Z-Batch. One of those guys that also brings a lot of people to the platform every week. See if we can find Stuart Forsyth. Let's see where he's racing. He's in B batch. One of our great supporters here, Bronwyn Lewis from Quebec. She's lying in 10th at the moment, about looks like about 2.5 minutes behind the leaders. Pocket Rocket. Back to the B batch guys. Schooner Pretorius just off the back of that bunch. He's going to need to try and work a little bit hard, get back on there. Richard Oz in the mix, we can see there. And Small. Sure. One of the guys using that power up, you can see there that red helmet. That's using the power up. He's trying to get back on there. That would be pushing a serious watch. Oh, Rogue. Let me tell you one thing, when the legs don't want to respond, they don't want to respond. That's just the way it goes. No matter how much you beg and plead with the legs when they're screaming at you, nothing wants to happen. So these guys, this is A batch now, 20 Ks in. They've got about 4 Ks to go. Definitely going to come down to a sprint, that's for sure. Great to see such a big, strong field racing at all 20 riders at the moment in the A batch. See those riders all jockeying for position, how the avatars move around by themselves as well, looking for that gap. How it works is basically if your avatar can't go forward, it'll move sideways. If you going a little bit too fast, a little bit too slow for the guy in front of you, it moves sideways on it, trying to look for a position where you can get comfortable. It's all built into the algorithm. So not too far. We will drop back to the men shortly and see where they are. This is the B batch guys. This is Rick Diesel. He's racing with Richard Oz, another one of his teammates from Frib. With the lady Suzanne Rogers. I just want to see who she's with. She's with Miller at the moment. So let's see where she can. Angelique Miller. Two of them are around about a minute down on the leaders. So now just off the back of this C batch, looks like they're starting to put some pressure down at the moment. Let's go back to that A batch because that's where the action is going to be happening shortly. Those guys haven't got far to go. See if we can find them. Yeah, found David. There we go. Once again, looks like off the back, David Humphrey's going again. He's trying to take somebody with him. Let's have a look there. 10 low. Guys, now they're coming back into town. They'll know exactly where they are. 22 k's in. They've got this tunnel. Then you'll start seeing the downtown Watopia just up ahead of them. Serious racing. This is going to definitely come down to a sprint. I think most of the groups are going to come down to a sprint. The ladies, I think we've got 3 away there. Otherwise, the men's B, C, and D batches all still on top of each other. It's Johnny at the moment, Johnny W, New Zealand. You just see those positions changing all the time. The guys are just jockeying for position now. They know it's getting close now. The guys that have got the legs and have got the speed will be moving their way forward, trying to stay in the front of the bunch. The A series aimed more at the individual, or the winter series, should I say. And obviously, you can still form a team around you to help you get to the top step for the day. So see if guys can work together. Looks like Johnny going away now from New Zealand. Red wins on that, responding. Peter Avenatti, he's going now from South Africa. Johnny is in second. Teng Lo, Charles Bond in there. Daniel Steven also trying to come forward. But Peter definitely pushing out the big numbers at the moment. Check out those numbers turning red. He's really grinding it now at the moment. 8 watts there. You can see David Humphries putting 11.2 watts, trying to come back in at him. He's got 2 seconds down there. I think maybe Peter might have gone too early, looking at the way the guys are starting to close that gap. David Humphries trying to come back on. Has he left it too late? They've got about 200 meters to go. Can he put it back? Peter Avenatti at the first, and then David Humphries second. Charles Bond now in third. Looks like it might go to Peter. David Humphries showing 25 meters back on my screen. Looks like David was caught by the group there, but Peter Avenatti taking the win here today. Let's see if we can go find some of those ladies. These guys will be kicked out of our world. It'll open up to everybody else there, but looks like Peter Avenatti winning there today. We'll go find those girls and see how they're doing. They shouldn't have too far to go now. I found Michelle Dagley. She's in the girls' race, so we can pick them up a lot easier. There we go. Michelle in E-Batch. She's down in 16th place. Let's just have a look where we can find those leading girls. And Sonia, there we go. I found and Sonia. She's still in the mix there with Hiroyo. Looks like Maud has gone. Let's have a look, see who else is in front of there. M. Thomas, I think that might be a gentleman. I think he's in the wrong category. Yeah, from Australia. That's okay. So Maudie Lane at the moment, she's gone away. At 16 seconds on Hiroyo, then Ansonia, then Suzanne, 2 minutes and 17 seconds. She's with Angelique Miller. So not too far there. Maud now definitely making the attack. You can see that gap growing all the time to Hiroyo. Brilliant ride there from Maud. Don't see anybody else in sight. She's just really capitalizing now at the moment. See if we can find some of those other guys, but there's not too much longer now. And Maud will be across the line. Then we're going to see where B-Batch is. B-Batch should be wasn't close to the finish line as well in the men's. So great win there for Maud. She'll take the win quite comfortably today as she crosses the line. We're going to go back to Rick Diesel now and see if we can find Rick. Looks like he's crossed the line already. So B-Batch. B-Batch is finished as well. See if we can find Craig Stradom. There he goes. He was in C-Batch. They should be coming up for their sprint pretty shortly as well. 21 Ks in there. This is a C-Batch at the moment. A D-Batch, should I say. See if we can find some of the guys in C-Batch as well. They should still be also just about finished as well. But still about 3 Ks for the C-Batch guys. Stuart Forsyth, he's in B-Batch. He's still riding, going into those tunnels. See if we can find Rowan Hammond. I know he was in C-Batch. There we go. They're still racing. 1 kilometer still to go. For the C-Batch. Alex about to take the win there for C-Batch. That's the C-Batch race over. Find some of those other guys in the mix here. This is still a C-Batch coming up for the sprint now. This is a big chasing batch. Some 13th position at the moment. See if we can go back to Craig Stradom and the guys there in the D-Batch. Craig, you're lying in 4th at the moment, so let's just try and see if we can pick up. There has been a bit of a break in the D-Batch guys. Braxton gone away, Braxton Powell from the United States, he's gone. Got about 5 seconds on Mark Lund from Canada. John Tredko in 3rd, Craig Stradom in 4th. Braxton Powell now. Not too far to go, about 1.odd kilometers. Michael Lund coming back now. So, see Mark there, he's about 1 second back according to my screen. Yeah, there he is, just caught him. Mark on there from Canada. He's now taking the lead now. Did Braxton go too early? Has he got the legs? Can he respond to Mike? Craig Schrader now up into third. He's trying to come across it. John Treadgold, he's down fourth. Mark definitely going now hard, trying to get away from Braxton. Braxton coming back. You can see just down the screen, it's Craig and John. They're trying to get back on the wheels here. Yeah, Braxton back now again. He's going to attack the launch once again, try and see if he can get away from Mark. Unbelievable ride here. Braxton Powell now. He's got about a couple hundred meters still to go. He'll come around that corner now and see downtown Watopia and know that it's nearly all over. Can he hold Mark off? Mark seems to have definitely lost. Craig and John have caught Mark. They passed him, so maybe he went a little bit too hard. What is the gap? It is 3 seconds. It's definitely coming down to Braxton. So Craig and John now on the tack. You can see them. Craig Stratham now moved up into second place. Let's see if we can find him. And John Treadgold also in the mix there. So Craig is going now. From Durban, South Africa. With his Peaker Blinder hat on, his church socks, and his grasshopper shoes. Definitely starting to close that gap, trying to. There we go. It looks like John Treadgold coming through as well. He's going to catch Craig now. Are they going to work together or are they going to try and hurt each other? Let's have a look there. John Treadgold coming through from Australia, or New Zealand, I think it might be. Definitely Australia. John Treadgold. Braxton Powell still in the lead. Yeah, Braxton definitely having the legs, ride the injury, enough to keep him going and stay ahead of the other two that are chasing very hard. It looks like that gap opening again. So the batch now being won there by Braxton Powell. We'll go back down a little down the field there with Kit. So that's it, guys. That's our racing finished for the day. All our winners for the categories are in. It's been really a huge thank you for joining us here. It's really great to see you. Some nearly 200 riders joining this morning, or signed up to join, but obviously some of them still lying in bed. Some of them still at work. It's we start racing at 5:30 in the morning at South African time, but it is unfortunately some of the guys are just finishing work in the other sides of the world. So if you just finished work, and have a good meal and enjoy your evening. For you guys in the eastern side of the world, I hope you've had either a great day or going to have a great day. Let's end off with this little song here from Quebec.
No